285 is that damn thing again. What, a couple of quid spending money? Hell, we're back to square one again. What you say, Beverly wants a dress, don't you?
She could do with one, and her pumps are nearly off her feet.
How much is that going to cost us?
Well, I should say about £3 or so.
That leaves us with a quid. We're getting nowhere here fast. You get plenty of noise. This you've got used to, you know, you're sort of brought up with the noise when you walk into the factory. And the fumes, there are some fumes worse than others. Some that make you cough, some that get on your chest. For instance, and there's a chemical there that we use. If you've used it that day, and you light a cigarette up at night, even in your own home, miles away from the factory, you can taste this in your cigarette. You know, you can taste it in your food. And it's rather a bad chemical, is it?
Jack Walker has never been on strike, but he spent 10 months out of work during the marathon lockout at Denby Dye Works near Shipley, where he'd worked since he was a boy. That was 8 years ago, and he has another job now. But he's never forgotten how 250 men were told they would be sacked unless they renounced their union.
Denby Dye Works here in front of us has very special memories for you. You worked here for 13 years, your father worked here, and your brother-in-law worked here.
Yeah.
And you took part in what was the longest strike in this country's history over a dispute at Denby's.
Yeah.
And yet you're not a militant, are you?
Oh, certainly not, no.
Tell us about that strike and what it meant to you.
Well, it was reported in the local press that it was a foreman that ran a machine. This actually was madam. You know, what it was that Denby's at that time did not want the trade union movement in the works. They came and said that if you want to work here after today, it's a non-union shop on our conditions. And the very next day, each man of the 250 of us was sacked. We all got our cards and a letter to say that we were sacked. And I think that this can happen to any man in Great Britain that's a trade union member. And I think that it's diabolical that after our fathers, like my father served in the trade union movement for all the years that he did, I think that it's diabolical that any management in this country can turn around and say we don't want a trade union movement at all, and you're sacked.
Do working people feel that a Denby situation could happen to them at any time, and this is the reason for their resistance to the Industrial Relations Bill?